This Farm News video is brought to you by Crystal Flash. Asparagus harvest is in the home stretch at one of the 100-plus Michigan family farms that grow the spears. Hart, Michigan's Oomen Veggie Company grows close to 300 acres of asparagus, in addition to broccoli, carrots, squash, green beans, and a number of other crops.
Asparagus has always been a good crop for us. It's been one of our cash crops that, it brings you money in the spring and, helps your cash flow throughout the year. So asparagus has always been one of those things that has been top of the list on some of our crops. We have about 225 acres that we own, and we do rent some acres from other farmers, which is about 70. So, we're pushing the 295, 300 acres of asparagus. Most of our asparagus is fresh market. That's what we really concentrate on. But we also do spear market, cut and tip. We sell some asparagus to people that go to fresh markets, and a small amount. We sell some that goes directly to restaurants. This year, for the first one in quite some time, we didn't have a frost. We didn't lose any to Mother Nature. Everybody had some enormous yields at the beginning, which some of the fresh market, at least one of the packers, wasn't ready to pack due to he bought some new equipment and some of it wasn't in, it held him up. Put a lot of pressure on the process market. So the process markets actually filled up early, and they worried about getting all the way through season with their growers to make sure that their growers had that home. When it comes to fresh market, we always have we call it a glut. Memorial weekend. It just seems to be when our crop peaks, like Washington State may be finishing up, so they've got extra crop on the market, and it seems like that period of time when we have more imports. And the Peruvians brought in more than normal this year in that time period, which really put stress on our fresh market. And we're still working through that. Market is getting stronger each day now, but usually it's a 7 to 10 day period that we have more asparagus than what the domestic market can take. And this year it was at least 14 days plus. It's bothered us for quite some time, and it's going to make a big difference on our returns at the end of the year. And we deliver to 2 different fresh packers now. They each have their own markets they specialize in. But I know one packer does ship to the West Coast now. And we're doing that because Mexico has slowed down, Washington's out. We're the only we're the only domestic asparagus right now. And then the Peruvian stuff, usually comes into Miami, and then, if it's already aged, it doesn't have a lot of time to spend going west on a truck. And that's a big factor, shelf life. It's a big factor how your product is handled as soon as you pick it. You need to get to the hydrocool and get cooled. I mean, if you leave asparagus sit out in the sun, research says 2 hours it needs to be in and cooled. Well, not everybody has that capability, but here we have our own hydrocooler, so as soon as a crew is done with a field or we take everything on a 4-pallet trailer. If the trailer's full, that trailer goes in and gets exchanged for a new one so that it's not sitting out in the sun very long. Hydrocooler is refrigerated water. What we take well water, chill it to 35 degrees, and then we run the asparagus through it. It goes through on a chain, so it's timed how long it spends in this machine, and it takes that water and basically drenches it. So it's running cold water over the asparagus for 30-35 minutes, and then it lowers that field temperature, it lowers that asparagus temperature. We want it to be below 40 when it comes out of there. We prefer it to be 36. And on a hot day, sometimes you struggle to get that done. On a cool day, it's pretty easy.